portable piece, a portable gaming desktop. Kind of. It is it is a full voltage laptop with a 1060 GTX graphics card.
That's a big graphics card, Sheever. Is that even a laptop, baby?
It is. I mean, so they say, but it's a pretty powerful.
How could it be a laptop with the power of a desktop and with that much voltage?
I don't even know.
Mike,
I don't even know. I mean,
God, Sheever.
I'm just a messenger. If you want to know, exclamation mark full voltage for more information on that particular beast, because it is a beast. Now, Escape Gaming versus Alliance. We talked a little bit about what we expect. You all have your favorites, great. But let's talk a little bit more in depth about that because we have a draft going on.
Oh!
And I want to hear from you guys what you hope to see for either teams. We already mentioned Nature's Prophet, but what about, I was going to say, what about Batrider?
I want to see Invoker.
You want to see a Quake for Invoker again?
Yeah, that's a hero.
The last couple of times Escape
banned,
Gaming picked Invoker, it was picked in the first two. So yeah, banning it out in the first two is necessary if you're up against Escape Gaming. They had great synergy with the Trixie Nyx Assassin with that one as well. So maybe now we won't see that one either.
I kind of want to see Escape just grab the Warlock again. We saw Sind have some really nice performances on it already. You've seen the SD come out, so already the illusions at the end of the day just going to add to potential fatal bond spam. I think of the Jug early. I do like this as well. It's a hero that it's very likely that Alliance themselves may want to look for. It's a hero that Escape Gaming yesterday were consistently picking up as the third pick, so Alliance could very well have expected that and would have banned it out in the second phase. So yeah, Sin just grabbing it nice and early on in this draft.
Could we see the Limp Disruptor on this one? Is this the game?
They've been saving it for a while.
Pocket strat, for sure. Alright, so, band coming up here from Alliance. Could we see the Oracle band coming out? I mean, you know, good sustain, bad against, pretty scary if you have a Batrider on your team.
Yeah, it is something that you've always got to be worried about if you're playing the Bat, yeah. It could be something that comes to mind for Alliance. I do like how they're prioritizing the bans, though, so far. Obviously, two, just Koikva's absolutely main, big playmaking heroes being taken out the pool, and another one as well. Understandable from Alliance, they're scared of Koikva. He's been having a very strong performance so far on LAN.
It's 3 bans targeted the guy.
Marana, though, is still in, and he's a beast of Marana as well.
Yeah, it's very likely that they may look to ban that one out here. They do have the first pick coming out of this ban, so there's also a chance that Alliance may just third pick Marana for themselves. It's already very nice with both the SD and the Bat. Moonlight Shadows help set up the Bat's Blink initiations, and of course Shadow Demon's Disruption for the arrow combo. So Alliance may be looking to just pick that up, or as you said, if they're not, there's absolutely every reason that they could just ban it out.
The other hero we've seen have a decent amount of success is Alchemist, that's still in the pool.
There you go!
So seriously, just no universe. Like, the second stage, the fourth pick Alchemist, you suddenly see a command, you're just like, oh god, it's an Alchemist game. It's kind of like Naga in that way, where it's beatable, but you just throws you off your game. It psychologically damages you as a human being.
It is actually psychologically damaging because you always have to think like, where is Alchemist? What is he doing? Why isn't he here? It's scary. Shadow Demon, have we actually seen him at the LAN yet?
It's the first time
It's been banned out, I think. Pretty much every draft I want to see at least.
It's been ignored a few times.
Okay.
It was a bit different, but it's been banned.
It's been kind of first pick, first ban material, and then this is his first leak in, but he doesn't have that classic Luna combo, so I'm wondering what they're going to be using with him. Could we see a Kunkka? That's the big deal, right? The Shadow Demon Kunkka deal?
That is something that Alliance as well, when Kunkka was a bit more popular, they were very strong with that combo.
It could be, you know.
They haven't got much team fight, so
and it's not too great against the Juggernaut. I mean, I guess the Rum defensively is nice with the boat. You can get it over your targets if he's jumping in for the Omni, but offensively, it's not going to offer a lot in terms of catching out the Jug.
Not the best X target, for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of agility heroes that you normally want to have with the Shadow Demon to copy you, of course, the Gyrocopter is still in the pool. We saw Alliance be phenomenal with Gyrocopter yesterday.
They could. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best to go with Shadow Demon. It's not too great against Jug either.
Yeah.
But they picked the slider.
Oh, yeah. The thing is here, like 4-position slider, I mean, it's similar to the Kunkka idea where it's just like a follow-up to the Shadow Demon Disruption, but...
Do you think it will be 4-position? You don't think Loader...
That's a Loader.
Loader plays the slider.
It could be slider.
We saw yesterday one of each, and when EGM played Slardar, it wasn't great.
It wasn't that good. I don't think that they're going to run a support again because it just wasn't as impactful as Loda Slardar. Yeah. Loda is actually great on Slardar. He's a beast, so I hope we get to see him carry.
That was the game they lost against Liquid, but they're doing really well for most of the game.
Yeah, very well. But anyway, so Escape coming up here. Pretty standard stuff. I'm just super interested in what Alliance is going to do with that Shadow Demon. But Escape, I mean, what do we got to say?
It's kind of like, what's the quick for hero now? You've had 4 bans onto his hero pool. SF, Naga, Invoker, he's got a big hero pool. We've seen him play all kinds of stuff like the Lone Druid come out here and there. This could be a Lone Druid game, you know. You got Healing Wood, you got Bloodlust for the bear, but
Lone Druid? Are you serious?
Point for heroes, you know.
Point for hero, it is Lone Druid.
One hero that I do remember Koi for playing in one of the League play games. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember when he played Nature's Prophet mid?
Not again. Not again.
I've not seen that ages ago.
He did that like at the start of League play, and he had an absolutely amazing game.
Hey!
So I'm still wondering if that's going to come through for Alliance as well.
Now
Probably Trixie, but...
That's confusing. Isn't Legion Commander terrible against Shadow Demon? He just completely destroys the duel.
No. It's good against the illusions because you got overwhelming odds, and it's good against the Bat Rider because you can purge off the lasso. Good against the amp damage because you can purge that off. So
yeah, that's right.
It's a really good game for press the attack. Being able to purge off all these spells, and it's overwhelming odds is good against any illusion drop, but it doesn't look like they're going illusions. It looks like they're just picking Shadow Demon for the sake of being a Shadow Demon.
Yeah, press the attack is actually ridiculous in this game.
It's a support slaughter.
No.
Yeah, I think it could be a Bat mid with Slaughter off lane. It could be possible, but I'd say unlikely. That doesn't strike me as a limp hero to play mid. I'd rather him have some kind of DPS hero.
And I feel this is scary for Escape Gaming because this combo is a combo that we have seen just time and time again, teams making sure that their opponents don't get. Having Slaughter and Lifestealer. You get a good timing on that blink, which arguably if it is going to be the support, it's not going to be as quick as when we see teams just do it on the off lane and Lifestealer in the safe lane, but that combination can be absolutely devastating if it gets the momentum in the early game. So it's going to be interesting to see what Escape Gaming do here to try and put a stop to that.
Yeah, you want something either that, I mean, what survives that amount of physical damage?
Yeah.
Very few heroes have the armor to. Alternatively, you go for some kind of elusive hero that's hard to catch, like the Tinker type heroes. That's not the quick hero, but you're playing Tinker against Bat Rider, against the Slaughter jump. Weaver comes. It might actually be a Jug mid with a carry Weaver. It looks like now.
Yeah, that's the crutch though with that combo. I mean, if you could put enough pressure on Slardar to make sure he doesn't get that blink, I mean, it's just horrible. They don't do anything for the entire game on Alliance except for have that Bat Rider.
There's 2 supports that are support players that are really known for pulling out unorthodox supports. One of them is of course Lil. Yapsor is the other one. Pulling out the Clockwork support, as we saw also in his highlight clip. Lil pulled out a Weaver support just a week ago, and it was amazing. Could Yapsor do that?
But the thing is, Yapsor normally plays the Ogre, and then Sin playing kind of just the Ogre. I don't know if that would be necessary.
The support Weaver works with Drow Ranger. I don't think it's very good without the Drow Ranger. Both times, I think twice or 3 times I've seen them do the Lil Weaver, it's always been with a Drow strat. I want to say it's not the best this game.
Just to cover all our bases.
There's a chance they get Yapsor some kind of funky hero. I have seen Sin play the Ogre from time to time, but it's normally Yapsor on the Ogre, so...
Alright, sorry.
ET's ban, they target we saw Yapsor ET go really well in one of the games yesterday.
Yeah. Wasn't that the game where they were able to do that pretty good defense and then push in with the ET and Nyx Assassin, and then just somehow they made it work? That was beautiful. Another noob question for you. Sorry about that. Isn't Weaver bad against Slardar? I mean, he's got the ultimate. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's just not great against that, but he's good against like the lifesteal and such. It's very hard for the lifesteal to do a lot of damage to the Weaver.
It's good against Bat because you have Lincoln Sphere, and Bat doesn't have a good way to break the Lincoln Sphere. And when you have the Lincolns, it's like Slaughter goes and you blink crushes, and then you can block the amp damage theoretically. So Weaver's tanky enough; he gets enough items that he can likely survive any kind of initiation once he has Lincoln's Dragonlance.
And it's a hero that like a support Shadow Demon has a lot of trouble with. Weaver can work his way around to the back lines and just cause absolute chaos for the SD.
You get one of those little buggies on you, you're basically dead as a Shadow Demon. That's no good.
There's definitely ways to deal with the Weaver, but I still feel like it's a pretty good Weaver game because he matches up against Lifestealer, and he's just elusive. He's annoying to catch.
Okay, so what are we looking for our last hero then?
I feel it's...
Earthshaker.
So that is going to be... I'd imagine it's going to be I think they have played before the Yapsor support Earthshaker. They've done that recently.
Sind, I think Sind is going to just be playing safe lane Ogre with the Weaver. So he's going to zone with Ogre rather than have the Ogre mid lane, maybe more Ogre in the safe lane.
I mean, but Owen, you were saying yesterday you don't think that Earthshaker's that good of a support?
It's not. I mean, a lot of people that I've casted with and talked to, they just still don't rate the hero very highly. I mean, you have the Fisher that you can kind of make little sweet plays with, but you're one of those heroes that in the lane laning stage, you chuck down a fissure, and then you can't really offer a lot more. People are just going to kite you up. You're not going to be able to get any extra punches in very rarely. It's a hard hero to... I can't remember the last time I've seen it work absolutely amazingly.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I've seen an Earthshaker performance and gone absolutely wow. Pretty much since, well, I guess back to what, TI5 finals.
Yes,
that was the last time.
It wasn't even... Everyone says that.
Amazing shaker,
Right.
but it's a hard hero to pull off. But again, if it is going to be Yap, it's something that I could see him doing. He is the kind of player that can make the magic happen.
I think my favorite shaker was still the, it was a bit after that, Moomian at the Frankfurt Major.
Oh yeah.
God,
That's actually my favorite shaker game of
That's right,
all time.
Moonshaker was very good.
And then we talked about later.
Yeah,
I just treated that game like a pub game where I just ran around with Shadowblade, like doing whatever, like basically playing pub style. And
It worked.
Interestingly enough, though, I think this...
Oh, the limp,
Oh, hello.
a
Forget
lot
what I
of
was
damage.
saying.
I think Alliance's draft is really strong.
Yeah, I think it's a little better. They've got good roach control with the TA. There's not great answers for TA.
So, Owen, you up first?
Yeah, I think Slark Lifesteal, there's a reason why teams have been trying not to let opponents get it. It's absolutely disgusting, and I think Alliance are going to be very good with the execution with this lineup.
What about you, Gods?
I agree with Alliance. I think on top of that, the two melee supports, Earthshaker, Ogre in the early game. Ogre's alright. Earthshaker's a bit lackluster. I'm kind of feeling Alliance as well.
Escape Gaming. Yapsor is fantastic with its clockwork. He uses the cogs to put positioning. He's all about a positioning support. No better positioning support than Earthshaker to cut people off. I think we're going to see some massive plays coming out from him.
Okay. I believe Alliance. I was actually looking like, wait a second, there wasn't a clock, right? There was no clock. But I believe Alliance is going to have it. Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely makes sense. We're going to find out if Escape is going to take this first game or if Alliance will have the one-up going into this best-of-3 series. It is over to Annie and Fogged for Alliance versus Escape.
Thank you very much, Jeever. We are here in game number 1 of this best-of-3 elimination series. It is the lower bracket finals. Winner of this game gets to move on to the grand finals versus Liquid. Definitely not the end of a road, but it is going to be an intense battle to the finish here. Alliance, I'm really liking their draft, Fog. What are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm liking Alliance's draft. They have heavy physical. They're on Dire's side too, so they have...
He's just crawling his way here. He might get stuck. Quakefoot comes in
boots,
and,
but...
like Slack's called about, there's the wall dropped, and looks like that's going to be easy first blood. Juggernaut picks that up, and Quakefoot going to be starting game out right. He already has a completed poor man's shield, and now almost enough for brown boots.
Yeah, that actually, that hurts a lot, and Batrider actually denies himself to Roshan. He was being chased out by the Weaver and the Ogre. They were going to kill him, and he gets a nice little cheeky deny, obviously, to Rosh. Yeah, I like Alliance's lineup though, just because they have a lot of physical damage, a lot of magic minus armor for the Roshan build to do that. They have a good ancient clear, and then they also have obviously like to back up on with like the Batrider and everything. But that being said, Escape's cores do match up well versus Alliance's cores in that essence, and they can lane pretty well. You know, the Legion Commander should be able to get some fissure blocks to get himself experience. But as I say that, of course, Yapsor throws 2 fissures already, so he doesn't actually have that fissure to block the top lane to guarantee him some experience just yet. But maybe later on. And the thing I really like is that they can leave the Weaver alone, because Weaver versus Batrider in the laning phase is, you know, it's really, really nice for the Weaver. He's already going to be rushing the Magic Wand as well, so he should do just fine in that matchup, and it's going to open up Synderen opportunities to just run around, be obnoxious, and same thing with Yapsor.
Yeah, speaking of that, he's already starting to pester this mid lane TA, though. I think there's a pretty great pick. There's not a whole lot of things that are going to be able to burn that refraction very quickly.
Trixie top lane, gonna die here.
Oh yeah, he's kind of stuck, and there we go. Again, nice fissure dropped out, but Escape. They keep losing their heroes. That's Legion Commander dead, and that means just less and less farm. You got Yapsor here. He's going to get some good solo experience, but Alliance are feeling confident.
Limp is gonna really struggle in this game is the one problem I'm seeing for them. Like, he's gonna get completely zoned by this Ogre in the mid lane, and Quake for getting first blood gets boots right away, so they're gonna be able to run him down if he does walk up and just get spawned down. So they need to just do something to give Limp some space, or just get stacks started very early on and just make sure that he has that backup mechanic.
They got kind of a dual mid going on, the supports, keeping everything in check. More fissures dropped out. Loda, he's already low health. He's got himself a salve, so can get back up, but it's going to be difficult for Alliance to farm. Like you talked about Escape, they want to be mobile, they want to be everywhere, exerting their pressure. And I mean, Synderen's having such a fun time. He's kiting around this Lardar here.
Yep, he just runs around in circles. Bloodlust Koikva. Gem trying to put some pressure, you know, help. They just have to do something. They have to bring a second hero to help them, because otherwise he just gets nothing in this lane.
Yeah.
EGM though has to taking a bit of harassment now, but Cinder now is completely out of mana. Maybe he'll suicide himself to some neutrals and then come back, but we'll see what he chooses to do with his time.
Top lane here.
Hanskin.
Going in to try to drop some aggro onto the neutrals, and there's going to be one disrupt, but is that really going to be enough? YapzOr going in with the body block, there are the arrows dropped, and Trixie just going to walk back as Loda starts coming in, trying to defend his supports, and EGM, he's hasted up, he's sprinting after this. Trixie might find that fish one way or another, but I don't think there's any more blood going down in this top lane just yet.
Yep. Looking at bottom lane, Jonas is actually doing a really good job versus this Weaver. We tend to see like Weaver actually be able to bully him a bit in the first few levels, being able to just obviously accumulate those wand charges and just constantly right-click the Batrider and harass him. But yeah, he's getting pressured even when there's no sentry in that bottom lane by just a bit.
Yep, over here EGM just trading hits with Cinder, and that's not going to work out usually. Ogre, his base regen is pretty stupid. He's got some decent base armor as well, so he's just having a fun time here. Limp, he's struggling in terms of overall last hits. He's found himself 7, but our escape mid is doing a fine job here. Quakefus 12 and 9, denying the storm.
Getting chased out bottom. He's got Sakuchi up, but yeah, he should be fine. Jonas puts a value point into the flame break, but he actually expends everything now, and he's gonna have to go back to base or to suicide or something to heal up and then come back to that matchup. Era now gonna have a clean victory there.
Yeah, that Batrider just got a little bit too cocky, a little bit too crazy, tried to make the plays happen, but Weaver's just fine. He eats up his self, and now we are going to have an initiation up top. Hanskin goes in, is able to get the disrupt onto Trixie, buying a little bit more time. Loda, he's low, but there is going to be nothing left. Trixie just too low mana to come in and try something.
Yeah, the Ogre staying mid and helping out Koifa is putting a lot of pressure on EGM to kind of just be able having to move between these two lanes. And, you know, Lifestealer, Shadow Demon, Slardar is not really the most ridiculous tri-lane, especially once Trixie's able to get some levels up and with the Earthshaker behind him. They can actually put some decent pressure on this Lifestealer, Shadow Demon duel lane.
Yeah, Loda here, he's kind of trying to deny, just wanted to get a couple of his first, but realized his lifesteal was too strong. It was just a never-ending battle, so finally just sits there, takes it from the neutrals. Now EGM, he's getting nice solo experience here, but I don't think this is going to work out for him here. We are going to have the Ogre just throwing in long-range stun, and that's going to be Fissure finishing the job.
Era got pushed. Wow, I wish I was glancing at that bottom, but he actually got flame broke on the high ground by Jonas when he was chasing him out. So
Yep.
he was just stuck up there and just got burned by the Firefly Sticky. That was definitely a sick play. I wish I'd actually had eyes on that to see how it all turned out.
I caught the tail end of it. It was just, flame break onto the cliff, and you can't really do much. You just walk around in circles and panic for a little bit, but...
That's a sick play by Jonas. That's a completely, we're saying it was going to be a little bit hard for him after he got forced back to base, but doing that's definitely a salvage point.
Yeah, so overall kill score tied up. It's a pretty active game. Loda trying to get onto Trixie. There's going to be a disrupt to try to buy some time. YapzOr does have the Fissure to drop. It looks like the Radiant, they're going to feel comfortable moving forward. Hanskin going to be taking some damage now. Does not have the disrupt to save himself. The Fissure comes in, isolates Hanskin. He goes down. Loda on the other side of the wall cannot catch up, cannot help his team, cannot go in for a counter kill. Meanwhile, down bottom, Era's going to get slowed down. Flame break comes up, and there is going to be some vision of the bug, but they just don't have the speed to catch up to him.
Yeah, EGM made the rotation with Dust, and he went for him.
Okay. EGM crushes him up, but Era just going to turn tail and run.
Yeah, he's got 13 stick charges too, but yeah, forcing him out of the lane, putting a lot of pressure on that Weaver. But this top lane though, this is super good for Escape. They're going to have Arcane Boots already on this Earthshaker, so able to boost up his Legion Commander quite a bit with that.
Yeah, this Earthshaker has been making the plays. Lack talked about it already. This is a very YapzOr hero. It's a hero that has a lot of control, goes in, breaks up the fights, puts everyone in the position they want to be, and Alliance are going to be caught off guard frequently. You see how many times that Shadow Demon has just been blocked out of where he needs to be because of the Fissure. Now up top, Loda, left to his own devices here, he's able to rage away. Is there any more damage coming in? Well, Overwhelming Ard's already dropped, so Loda's just going to go back, and he can lifesteal up on some creeps. He's got himself 7 stick charges, but he's definitely been kept lower than he'd like this entire game.
Yeah, they're pressuring the hell out of him. That's really not where you want to be as a lifestealer, but at the same time, they made the adjustments. This is how they feel that what they needed to do in this game, make the rotations away from the lifestealer, just because their lane's just not a winning lane versus the Earthshaker Legion Commander with the Ogre Magi rotation. So they're going to start stacking up the Ancients. They have a double stack up, and they're going to put their attention on just focusing on Era a bit and just following Cinder around, maybe get a nice little pick off on him.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about the last hitting. Juggernaut still at the top of the charts. TA has found something here.
Yep.
TA really started out struggling, wasn't really able to get up into the wave, get up into experience, but sitting with 28 and 5. Juggernaut's been doing the best he can to deny Limp, but Limp is still finding something. Now, when does that TA start getting dangerous? What do you need to get on her?
Just like the usual, you know, he can go phase into like the Blightstone and then decide if he feels like it's a Blink game or if he feels like it's a Desolator game. Really depends on like the momentum in the game, like what timing you're feeling. But yeah, I mean the amount of denies on Koik was actually very impressive, 17. But that'll happen when you get like such a great start, getting boots right away off the first blood. But EGM's mid rotation, it pretty much salvaged Limp's game entirely because he would have been totally devastated without him.
Cinder in here, he's going around trying to be a bully, but he walks into 3 very dangerous heroes. Jonas moving forward, has the fire ready to go. There's bugs connecting onto everyone, but okay. Cinder, and he's just burning. I don't think he gets out of this one. He is able to buy out, but nah, he's got nothing.
Yeah, during that as well, Koik used his haste rune, ran directly top lane, and gets the pick off on Loda with with some auto attacks with Fissure and Trixie.
Top lane, Escape already able to put some pressure on. Fortify coming out right away, but Alliance, they just want to focus on their own farm. They're not going to try to defend this. Instead, moving towards the mid lane, they're rotating in their Lifestealer.
Loda's very crippled.
Yeah, he's having some trouble here. In terms of last hits, he's only 25 and 5. There's going to be an initiation here. They might be able to get this kill. That could be pretty impactful. Yapzor, he's trying to do what he can, but will get focused down by 3 heroes. There's really nothing he could do there. Hanskin's low mana, so has to TP immediately back to base.
The roaming Lifestealer. Hey, he's got to do something to try to make up for the deficit that happened top. So he's just going to be moving around, going to the jungle a bit, finding what he can because of how much pressure they put on him. He's even going Iron Talon, so he's really committed to just going for that straight jungle now since it was quite a tough top lane.
Yep, he got zoned, and now Trixie getting a lot of free space top. Already took out the tower with the help of his allies, and I mean now he just has control pretty much over the whole, this half of the dire jungle. He's able to pick up a ton of space for himself. Does Trixie just go for a fast blink and try to stack up the dual damage?
It's possible he does that, but maybe he wants to be more of like a transitioning core. Maybe go for like, I mean, we see some people go for a Blade Mail Rush. Maybe he just wants to farm. Same kind of thing as like the TA. It's like, however he feels that the game is going, if he just gets like a blink in one shot, then it'll have a couple pickups and sure. But nice Fissure block by Yapzor. They've got Limp a little bit isolated now, and
oh, this is a very, very dangerous time for Limp to go down. Already with the Ancient stack, they can't afford to lose the Ancient. Cinderin is going to get low. He's still going to be able to TP out, will not die. And now going to be some more initiations. Another Fissure connecting up to 2. EGM goes in with the crush, and they've got Yapzor locked down. Looks like he will lose his life. Hanskin goes down to Era. Now Era picking up a double kill, moving in for more. Wants the Batrider. Batrider really doesn't have a whole lot at his disposal. Tossing out the Napalm.
Arcane Rune Weaver.
Oh my, this looks like it hurts real bad. Batrider just trying to go and solo him down, but I think Jonas knows this is not looking so great. They've got Koikfa rotating around if necessary, and there we go. Time lapse just to make sure that Jonas goes out. The setup of that entire fight was TA going in, trying to get another stack onto these Ancients. That's going to be a 3 stack there, and Radiant, they would sure love to get their hands on these and make sure TA cannot pick those up.
Yeah. They just want to be very disruptive, pressure the tier 1s as much as possible to kind of not let them be able to have those easy rotations to defend those Ancients for sure, but as well as the Roshan, which they have a very good lineup for that once they get to that point. But Trixie goes behind the tower top and snipes the courier actually, so it takes out Lotus phase boot, slows down that, and also of course gives the acceleration of money to his teammates bottom lane.
Going to be Koikfa spinning around, really trying to finish off this tower. It may cost him his life. He's going to be TPing out. This tower has literally 8 HP, and Era, he's just going to be booking it. He has the dust on himself. I don't think he's making it out. The crush comes in, and the neutral deny is not going to happen. TA picks up the kill. EGM is burning low. Does he have any regen here? His tranquils are broken. Oh man, he gets down to 7 HP, but will survive.
Almost dies. Yeah, they get the tier 1. Was it denied?
Nope, Radiant.
It was not, yeah, it was killed by the Radiant, so they committed a lot of people to, and they killed the Weaver, so that's fine. They didn't get the deny, but it's definitely a little bit of a trade. Limp now going to those Ancients, clearing up a triple stack. Wanted to stack it one more time, but oh, he actually gets it. Nice. Nice play there by Limp.
Yeah, that is going to be a huge burst of gold for TA right there. This is a lot of Ancients going her way relatively early on in the game, 10 minutes in, and she's already feeling comfortable taking the stack. If Escape had been able to take that, that would have been absolutely crippling for Alliance, but this is really TA's mechanic back into the game after a somewhat difficult early lane.
Yeah, I mean, he did struggle a bit, but yeah, EGM's rotations really salvaged it, and then now, I mean, yeah, this is just This is just TA things, you know, farming ancient stacks, getting a little bit of burst of money, and he should be pretty close to tied up with the Jug. Koikba just a little bit ahead, of course. Koikba already has the Yasha coming out on the courier, and he has another haste rune on this Juggernaut too, so when he wants to become a nuisance in a couple moments with that, he can.
Yeah, Koikba's farming up. He's getting a little bit scary. Yapzor mid lane was just continuing his rotations in. Went in, dropped a Fissure onto the Batrider, but not going to be too scared. Batrider and friends are going to be smoked up. Maybe looking for a pick, maybe just looking to get some more vision and control over their jungle. They sure would love to find a pick onto Trixie. Still has no Blink Dagger, getting very, very close. This is a great window to go and catch him. The neutrals are aggroed, they know something's here. Batrider's Firefly is going to end at some point. It's about half duration, and they are not going to want to dive at tier towers. And wow, yeah, Alliance, they are very deep here. The smoke gank, they're wrapping in under the shadow of the tier 3s.
They were looking for Ancients initially for the TA, but now they just had them, you know, the movement to be able to go here. They actually spot somebody.
He's going to be able to rage here, not caught by the Fissure. The Omni Slash flies through, though, and the damage from the Weaver, will it be enough? The Infest into the Slardar, EGM, the Ambulance, trying to get him back to safety, but EGM notices it is a difficult path to get back to the fountain. Just TPs out under the tier 2, not going to take any risks here, as the Lifestealer was just counting on him to get out safely, and now the Healing Ward dropped. There is a Fissure here, catching out the Batrider. The duel comes in as well, so Trixie able to pick up his first tick of dual damage off the back of that. Still a good fight for Escape, but could have been a lot worse for Alliance.
Blink on Trixie, 12 minutes for your off-lane Legion Commander. Like, it's looking very good for Escape right now. They did all the tools they needed to really do to pressure the lane super hard with this this movement from the Earthshaker, and just the way they decided to do the lanes, putting the Weaver in a 1v1 situation versus Bat. Yapzor just freely with Trixie top pressuring super hard with the rotations from Syndra, and it's really very big for them coming into this mid-game in a little bit.
Man, I just love that Loda hopping into EGM, and EGM's panicking, like, oh god, they're gonna get me, and just TPs through. So Alliance, they're feeling alright. They're definitely getting the farm that they need to start getting back up into this. I think there's a lot of pressure that's going to be on the TA, because Lifestealer did start the game so crippled and needs more time to jungle.
Yeah, I mean, having only 3,500 net worth compared to the other 3 cores on the side of Escape. 6,000 on Jug, 5,000 Weaver, 4,500 on Legion Commander. He's definitely going to be struggling a bit. Like I mentioned in the when the draft was going on, the 3 cores match up very well versus the Lifestealer, as the panel even mentioned too. And I mean, Yapzor, you know, don't sleep on this Earthshaker either. Like he died twice, but he's been pretty much involved in every single kill. He's 350 gold away from that Blink Dagger already.
Yeah, that is really scary. Escape are going to be so mobile here on Alliance. I mean, yeah, you've got the Batrider that's going to be blinking around. You've got the Slardar that can slither wherever he pleases. But, I mean, Escape, they're going to have blinks on a good number of their heroes. Weaver, of course, going to be very difficult to lock down. Weaver already with the completed Dragonlance. No boots.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Lincolns next, just to not be able to get lassoed up easily. So he's going to be pretty hard to kill, actually, versus Alliance's lineup, since they only have the Slardar Crush, plus the lasso to hold him down in place. Limp did go for that Blink Dagger, though, instead of, you know, feeling like he needed a Deso. He's just like, okay, I need some more ways to get in the back line and just escape. Some nice mobility. And when Escape did that nice, like, little smoke rotation, they actually put a ward down so they can keep eyes on those Ancients to see whenever Limp's farming them.
Yeah, it's going to be super handy. Again, denying the TA her Ancients is a really good way to keep her in check as she starts to scale into the later game.
Jam with the Infest.
Always going in. Are they actually able to find this kill? Cinder, and looks like he will eat all the damage. Trixie moving in, though, maybe trying to get some revenge for his teammates, realizing, oh, there's a lot of people there trying to run away, and now Limp just goes in, dropping the damage. Trixie's cleaned up, but the Fissure comes in. There's going to be a disrupt trying to reset the fight. Koikba, he's getting low, just blasted apart by that Meld Strike, and now Era just sitting in the flames. There's nothing he can do. All of a sudden, Escape, they get cleaned up. Spare Yapzor, who dropped a great Fissure, but he cannot bail his team out of that much damage from Alliance.
That was a very nice smoke play there from Alliance. Smoking in the mid lane, moving into the enemy jungle, putting a ward down, catch Syndrin right away, blink pick up from Limp, on top of an Arcane Rune, so he's able to spam the melt every 4 seconds in that fight. His damage was ridiculous there.
And that TA, you can feel the power. That first big Ancient stack started to kind of tip her over the edge of now she's able to go in and fight, and with that blink, she now picks up most of her Desolator, just one hammer off. That's exactly what they needed to bring Loda back into this game as well, because now he's got the armlet, he's got the phase boots, he's almost completely caught up. Obviously, you want to be a little bit more hesitant to your safe lane, but Yapzor now has that Blink Dagger.
He got a great fissure in that bottom fight, but he couldn't really get in to get the Echo Slam off in the follow-up.
That whole last fight, it feels like Escape were really caught off guard. I don't think they were expecting Alliance to make such a showing. You had the Legion Commander go in like she was going to be the aggressor here, go in to defend her Ogre. She heals herself up, she walks forward, realizes, oh crap, there's so many heroes, and just tries to bail back but is caught. Now Escape looks like they're going for an aggressive play of their own. 4 heroes in the smoke, maybe trying to bait something out with Era in the mid lane. They're wrapping around here. Looks like Limp going in, gets the deny, but will that cost Limp his life? Trixie moving forward. There's going to be a double man crush, the Fissure to lock the Slardar in place. Now Psionic Trap has popped. Everyone's slowed down, and this is actually a great setup for Alliance. They're moving forward. There's going to be a duel, but looks like Hanskin actually gets the damage. He's able to pop off and disrupt for himself. Meanwhile, this could be a lasso coming back in. Earthshaker is going to be tethered up. Jonas just clearing out the bugs. He's got one still nipping on him, but he's fire flying forward. Looks like Alliance are really committing to this fight. They want to keep moving in. Limp on the backline finishes off Yapsor. These melt strikes are tearing Escape apart. Quakefa not going to be able to get out either. Just keeps on burning Escape. They've lost 3. Alliance only lose their Shadow Demon, but not before he gets some dual damage for himself.
Yeah, very smart from Limp to get this Blink Dagger. Like I mentioned it, getting into those back lines is super important to be able to take out those supports, and he's doing a very good job of recognizing the targets he needs to go for in these fights. But Escape kind of set themselves up for that a bit. Very hard for them to really like fight into the lineup of the Alliance now at this point. And this is before EGM even has a Blink Tag on the Slardar, which he's gonna have in quite a moment. In like, I don't know, a minute, not even.
Yeah, Lifestealer, you could barely tell that he was so starved out in that early laning phase, just going to be taking out these neutrals. I think Alliance are really playing as a team. They're not letting themselves get caught off guard. They're always keeping enough heroes nearby in case Escape try to jump. And then this TA, she's just been doing an amazing job here, taking another Ancient stack for herself now. She will have her Deso complete after this, and...
Jesus, 17-minute Blink Deso.
How do you deal with this at this point? It seems like, I mean, Limp got a little bit of trouble here. EGM's rotation secured her the mid, and now all of a sudden, this TA is just skyrocketed on net worth.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets in the back line on the Earthshaker, he can blow him up instantly. He can blow up basically anybody during the lasso as well. Definitely putting a lot of pressure on Escape, but you know, it's fairly even. It's only 2,000 gold now into Alliance's favor, but they do have this Aegis of the Immortal, so now it might be their time to maybe want to pressure a tower or two, since they haven't done that just yet. They've got the Deso now, which is obviously always super beneficial for you to push, to be able to push.
Down bottom, Alliance just going in, trying to secure themselves a tower. I mean, they really want control over this Radiant jungle and the Roche pit. You see all the aggressive wards that Dire have put into this Radiant jungle. They really want to keep eyes on it, make sure they're not going to get caught.
They ping him out, but he does have the Aegis. He completely deters them from even going for that top push, just from walking up there.
At this point, Escape have probably figured out, don't mess with the TA. TA will just drop some meld strikes on you and two-shot you. Looks like Escape, they're just going to settle for some jungle farm, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of breathing room. There's going to be a tower taken out down bottom. Alliance secure that big advantage. Now the entire Radiant jungle is pretty much under Alliance's control.
It's go time. EGM, Jonas, smoke up in the back. Jonas has a Blink Dagger on top of the drums. EGM with Blink infested with Loda. They're set up for fight in their jungle. They know that nobody's in the bottom lane because of the wards they placed before, so they know that all of Escape is set up here, and this could be disastrous for them right now.
Oh, Blink forward. They're going to drop the infest, but there is going to be a dodge out. Fissure dropped, holds the Slardar temporarily in place, but Cinder tries to TP out, will be lassoed up. Easy cleanup onto the Ogre, and that's a killing spree now out for Loda. The rest of Escape are able to get out, so if Escape have to lose someone, probably best that it's the Ogre, but still Escape, they just can't seem to find the freedom, and now EGM not giving up the chase, wanting to move forward onto Trixie. Look, if there is going to be a crush, catching Trixie in place, flame break, moving Trixie to the other side of the tree line, arrows dropped out. Does Trixie really want to go for this duel? Apparently so. I don't think this is working out. Disrupt coming in, they're going to start to stack up the Shadow Poison. There's another crush in. I don't think Trixie gets out of here alive. There's going to be a Fissure trying to buy themselves some space, but EGM just moves in. It's actually Hanskin that gets the kill with that Shadow Poison collect.
Yeah, great moves by Alliance, honestly.
I don't know about that duel there. I feel like you should have learned your lesson that Alliance aren't traveling solo, and they've got the tools that it needs to finish you off.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like he didn't really. I guess he could probably see people with that ward too, of them rotating in. But maybe he just felt like he was trapped. He was like, I don't really think you want to be giving. He didn't give the dual damage at least, so there's that. But
yeah.
Era, bottom lane, crushed and melted.
Yeah, that Weaver never stood a chance. He's still working on his Lincolns. He's getting pretty close, but he's got 4 deaths for himself at the 20-minute mark. I mean, I think Escape have just got to realize the Radiant jungle is off limits. The warding is incredible here. 2 wards in the bottom jungle, then towards the mid, there's another aggressive Observer ward.
Cinder now as well, getting gone on.
Oh, he's just been chain dying. He's trying his best. He's going to get slowed up by the Psionic Trap. The poison starting to stack up. There's the Meld Strike. Look at the damage coming out from Limp. That is absurd.
Level 15 TA. Feels bad.
Level
So
6 Ogre.
Yeah, with Amplify. And it's only a level 1 Amplify. EGM's about to be level 11 too, so that's going to make it even more ridiculous how much damage he dishes out. And Limp's on his way toward his next item. He's got 2,500 gold, whatever he decides that to be.
Top lane, we're going to have a rotation in. Infested Batrider might be able to catch out quick, but here they are able to grab the lasso. I don't know if there's going to be any time for any sort of reaction. Trixie's there. Goes for the duel, but I think that's just going to secure a double kill for Alliance.
Tried to help out his buddy.
Era, not going to get the bugs off on Jonas, and Loda can definitely deal with this bug. They might be able to find the kill onto Jonas as a consolation prize. Loda, he's still crawling around. The TA's moving up. This is all just an elaborate bait. Cinderin, slowed by the Psionic Trap, tries to go in Bloodlust, but I don't think he gets out of this one here. He's just trapped between a rock and a hard place, and will get munched on.
Looking for Yapzor.
Mega kill streak out for Loda. There's a scan. They know that Yapzor's here. He's just dancing around. He's panicking. Oh god, Shadow Poison starts spraying in. EGM thinking about crushing. Psionic Trap will scout him out. Now Yapzor, he is in a very dangerous place. They've now got eyes on him. Crush, not going to connect. Yapzor walks into a dangerous zone. Hanskin goes in with the Disrupt now. They've got vision, they've got damage. Fisher, though, might be able to secure the kill on Hanskin. No, Yapzor will go down.
Aegis reclaimed. I think that's a pretty good movement of an Aegis.
Solid, yeah.
I mean, like you get Aegis and you get, I don't even know how many kills it's been. What, like 9 in a row for them, something like that for Alliance. So huge swing of momentum in the past 10 minutes for them.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the early game net worth split, you've now got TA and Lifestealer way at the top of the charts. That is a phenomenal comeback for them. Alliance seemed like they had really fragile lanes, but that did not stop them. They're playing as a unit. They know exactly what Limp is capable of. Down bottom, initiation here, a Lifestealer bomb. Oh, Cinderin, that's going to be his 6th death in 22 minutes.
Every time they see him, they actually just go straight for him. Like usually he kind of tanks the gank for his teams here, but I guess he's kind of tanking them a bit, but yeah, he's giving up a decent amount of gold here now. And yeah, these wards are just owning.
Okay, there's going to be a duel onto the Batrider. Loda coming in, he's raging up, he's trying to get at least some sort of trade going forward. Jonas is going to be eating up an entire Omni Slash, and Koifa will finish off the Batrider for almost 450 gold. Fisher comes in, does clip onto the Lifestealer, but he should be able to run himself away from this. He's got his face boots, he's got his armlet toggled on, but the bug, it's doing the work, and finally Weaver gets the kill. That is over 600 gold for the Weaver. Legion Commander's not going to be able to TP back so easy, gets crushed up to cancel it, but will be able to walk home safely. So Alliance maybe getting a little bit overzealous, splitting up their Batrider from the group and then rotating Loda solo to try to take on that fight.
Yeah, good response there by Escape though, but yeah, Limp decides to go for this, safe play. He's going to be going for just the BKB. He actually gets delivered a ward instead of his BKB. Okay, now he's turning the curry around. He's like, wait a minute.
That's not what I want.
What's going on here?
Gem out from the Shadow Demon. That's going to be a game changer.
He really wants his BKB and now it just gives him a TP instead, I guess. He's having some trouble with the courier.
Courier is disobedient.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, Alliance's vision on the map has been pretty damn solid. These wards by Hanskin as well as the traps on top makes it very easy for them to make these movements.
Bat Gem now, it's picked up by Shadow Demon, given right over to the Batrider, and that means the Weaver is going to be a hell of a lot less scary, and what Vision Escape do have is going to be relatively easy to take down.
Yeah, they can probably just like sit around, take out the wards from Escape, and then wait for the next Roshan to spawn before they make any crazy plays. As long as people aren't like completely alone, I think Escape is gonna be moving around more as like a unit from now on, just because of the kind of situation that's been happening. So.
Yeah, I mean, they have found themselves a little foothold back into the game. You look at the overall net worth chart, and there is that little up spike when they finally are able to take out the Bat and the Lifestealer. But now we've got EGM. He's rotating around. He's ready to get this party started again.
Escape is ready for these kind of plays, though. Like I said, they're probably going to be sticking together after like everything that's been happening.
No Omni Slash, though. Is it even that much of a difficult issue if they're sticking together?
Yeah, they have to watch out for those initiations, especially because Limp has a BKB. He can go in and just take out anybody without being stunned up. He's able to just take out any of the heroes on Escape, except for like the Weaver. He doesn't have some like
smoke in from Escape underneath this Observer ward. Not going to be spooking Alliance too much.
Oh, he revealed Koikva. Or Koikva was aware that he got revealed by EGM, so he knows somebody's in the trees there, and he's playing a bit afraid now. They're like, oh, Maybe we wrap around with the rest of the heroes. That's probably where all of Alliance is positioned, and this could be a position for them to take a fight. But Alliance is very strong right now at this point.
Cinder leading the charge, going to be popping up that Observer Ward. Smoke is still holding. They're trying to regain a little bit of territory here in their jungle. Jonas maybe thinking about going in up on this. Has his Firefly at the ready.
Stalemate for a second.
Yeah, they're
both just looking at each other.
They're realizing if this fight goes terribly for Alliance, then Alliance have lost a huge advantage, but Escape, they cannot afford to take another big loss fight. Fissure dropped in, they want to go into the bat, they are able to do so, they get him down. That's going to be a dual victory for Trixie, but Trixie just completely controlled up in that fight. The Omni Flash is bouncing around, but Quakefa now has to run for his life. He's going to get slowed down, and look at that Meld Strike coming back in. Quakefa will be killed off with one more shot from the TA. Now Era, running for his life, is going to be dusted up. The Crush comes in. EGM, though, getting low with that Fissure. Meanwhile, Limp just walking around the map, doing whatever he pleases. Nice dunk down from Yapso. We're going to have a brief pause in the middle of this fight as Loda just literally crashes. Oh my.
Sick initiation on the Batrider. Obviously with the high ground ward that they had placed there, they had the jump on Alliance a bit there, but just the sheer power of Alliance's lineup right now is just a bit more than Escape. The Hanskin actually gets the disruption there, perfectly timed on EGM, so Yapso comes in for an Echo trying to get both of them, gets the disruption on EGM, saves his life there, and now it's going to be Yapso trying to TP out in the middle of all these heroes, but
I mean,
we'll see if he can do it. There's a Crush in about 2 seconds, so it's going to be close.
I think EGM has to bail on this. I think he's too scared of Era reinitiating in. After that Fissure caught him off guard, he really dropped a huge chunk of health, and now I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts to slither on home.
I think Era's actually blocked in by that Fissure, isn't he? I think he might be able to attack if like someone moves a little bit closer, but he looks trapped right now. Yeah,
he's trapped, but he knows he's still definitely going to fall victim to Limp if Limp gets on top of him. He has that Blink Dagger up in 6 seconds.
Yeah, the one nice thing for Escape right now is that they did, they killed the Batrider right after the gem was picked up by Hanskin, so now Era is having that gem, so they don't really have any vision for the Weaver if he is just like scooching around in this area, except for with that one ward they have on the high ground there.
Alright, so how do you think this fight's going to play out? Does Yapsor live? Does Era live? Does anyone from Alliance go down?
So let's see. It says 2 seconds on Slither and Crush. He's got 2.8 seconds on the TP, so I think Yapso will probably die, and I think Era will should survive unless he somehow walks into the Sentry Ward and gets like kaboomed under it. But Era should be fine.
Kaboomed.
Yeah, kaboomed. I mean, that's what Meld Strike really looks like it's doing right now. Everybody's
where
just
did
melting.
Gem end up? Because Batrider was
Era.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't have any great vision for him, just for that one Sentry on the high ground. We'll see how it plays out though.
All right, Yapsor calls the G. This is the closest I've seen to a man looking down the barrel of a gun saying shoot. The Crush comes in, and he's going to be cleaned up again. EGM does get low. They do take out the Earthshaker, and looks like Weaver should be able to skitter to freedom.
Yeah, it was a nice little jump there by Escape, but Alliance is just their power right now is just, they have just a bit more right now than Escape, and it's easier for them to fight with this BKB on TA. And now Limp scores himself a DD as well now, so this next situation will be really tough. And yeah, this is a cool pickup now for Limp too. He picks up the Diffusal, so he doesn't have to deal with those pesky Ghost Scepters. He also has that extra potential to be able to chase people and remove the Bloodlust, of course, when he does decide to use the Purge.
Yep, overall net worth definitely in Alliance's favor right now. Their cores are getting huge, and their supports are not lagging too far behind. Sometimes we see that split where there's, 1 or 2 heroes on a team that get out of control in terms of net worth, but if those heroes are controlled up later in the game, then that team starts to lose a huge amount of advantage. But I think Alliance are spreading the wealth pretty evenly.
Yeah, having just this natural, the natural infestors. He just infests inside of EGM. EGM gets lots of money. Hanskin's obviously going to be a bit crippled, but he bought the gem, so, you have to give him a little bit more gold.
The scan reveals that something's going down to the Ancient Pit. Slardar, he blinks up aggressively, anticipating them being at the Ancients, but they're going to be wrapping around. He force taps himself forward. There's going to be Jug Illusions to contend with, and now Loda comes out of the Infest Bomb. They want to tear apart Cinder, and they are able to do so. That is a 3-shot on the Ogre.
3-shot on the Legion Commander, too.
This is just Alliance with the war crimes going forward. Yapsor dragged from his home and killed off.
Both teams using the scan there. Escape trying to retreat as best as possible, but Alliance with these crazy amounts of catch in their lineup with the Batrider, with the Slarda, with the Templar Assassin traps, keeping vision of everybody too, obviously with the slow on top. They just have so many different potential spells in order to chase these heroes out. So Escape loses 3. But the gem is still on the Weaver.
Yep. Hera looks like he's going around trying to do some sneaky split push. The tier 2 is down, so maybe he gets a little bit of damage onto the tier 3s. Maybe he starts to poke in, keep Alliance on their toes, but
it's Alliance's time to go.
I don't think Alliance are too scared. Knowing that the Weaver's not there is actually a really big plus for them. Limp feels safe getting at least a couple of tower shots here onto this giant tower, courtesy of Bloodlust.
Yep, and now they're doing, this is what, like the fake back smoke, but it may have been spotted actually by that high ground ward from Escape. Yeah, they're pinging him out. They know something's up.
Well, Jonas picks up a haste, and now you got a bat speeding around the map, and he's not flying solo. He's got a lifestealer inside him, so Alliance should be able to easily push out this lane. I mean, it feels like Alliance's game to lose. What's Escape's path back into this?
Do they have, I mean, they have the gem right now, so that's like one cool thing they have. At least they can take out a bunch of the wards, but they just need to stay together, and I mean, right now they need to just wait the Aegis out, honestly, and then we'll see how they develop from there.
I mean, is their team fight better than Alliance's? Because it seems like every team fight goes the way of Alliance, spare a couple of pickoffs.
I think Alliance's is much better. They have the Bat Rider, which is just natural for picking off heroes. Slardar as well. Templar Assassin traps. They have much easier vision going into these engagements, and they're able to just see pretty much everything that Escape wants to do. It's like the only way that Escape gets it is really if they get like a huge Echo Slam from Yapzor.
Oh. Up top, you've got Koikva walking around. He has 5-second cooldown on his TP. There's going to be mad pings out. Alliance know what's going down. He's just going to be trying to get out of here. Will he be able to do so? It looks like the TP will be successful. Bat a little bit late to the party, blinking right over, revealing that there is no more Juggernaut.
Yeah, they're just going to have to split up for a bit, wait out the Aegis. Era does have his Desolator, I believe, coming out on the courier very soon. So there's that at least for him. He's got Linken's, he's got Dragonlance, he's got Deso. He's the powerhouse right now. Koikva's not even doing so bad either. He's got the Blink, he's got the Manta, he's on his way toward his next item. Possibly the Diffusal, but maybe we'll see him go for something else.
Loda sitting on 3k gold. Is he going to be going into that full Abyssal? Does he trade out the Talon for something else?
The Echo Saber, Basher, Armlet. Yeah, I mean, they already have the Deso on the TA. I think maybe very slight chance he goes for like an AC just if they want to try to like break high ground super early, but I think more than likely it'll be that Abyssal. And as I said, that he actually picks up the chainmail on the AC recipe, so yeah, he's gonna go for the AC to break the high ground. That's kind of what I thought, but never know with some of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure out what Alliance need. Right now they've got the tank from Slardar, who's pretty big, and the Lifestealer as well. Getting the AC is going to help that out, and I mean, all this damage coming from the TA. These meld strikes are silly.
Yeah, I mean, he got that Blink Dagger purchase was so beneficial for Alliance from Limp.
Yeah, now Limp, look how fast this tower's melting down with Loda and Limp chewing on it. There's going to be a group up from Alliance, maybe looking to rotate in. You know that something's going to be going down here. They're pinging out. Escape walking up onto this rune. Trixie just going to be TPing back home. Does not want to take any chances with Alliance. So eager to go high ground.
Yep, they've got the Aegis, so it's still go time.
We'll see how this fight's going to be going down, but again, Escape don't have the best initiation. Yeah, there's the Blink Echo Slam, there's a duel to lock someone down, but Alliance, they've just got more sustain. It seems like they just bring more damage to the fight right now. And look at this Limp completely unfazed by this bloodlusted tower shooting him to pieces.
Yeah, Escape has no real way of getting vision in the backlines to see what's going on, while Jonas can always just like Firefly and get a little bit of extra added vision on top of throwing side traps in the back to try to like just see what's going on. So yeah, Alliance just has a much easier way of taking these fights, and Limp probably gonna be going for what, a full MKB coming out for him.
That's neat.
Is there anything? I guess I guess they must have spotted Koikva getting that getting that Eagle Song, so he's already countering the butterfly that will be coming out in the next couple minutes. But yeah, he's already got it.
Going forward, there is going to be a TP out from Koikva, so they're not going to find the Juggernaut just yet. But I mean, Escape are playing so scared. They really have cores that want to be able to go and farm and be aggressive. They've got a Legion commander, for God's sakes, who's been hiding in the fountain. How do you get this Legion to come back and be useful?
Try to just isolate people with the duel. The Aegis is now down, so this is their time to maybe trying to find like a pickoff, but Alliance is just gonna more than likely stick together and not really be traveling in their lonesome, except for maybe like the Shadow Demon or something. But as I say this, Gem is invis. He might be able to just walk in and break the smoke.
He sure would like to.
There is a gem on the Weaver, so he does need to be a bit careful. Loda now looks like he's the one who's going to be taking out the duel, and yeah, he's going to be dead pretty fast here.
Yeah, he's dropping low. Is there going to be any sort of retaliation from Alliance? Fisher dropped out. We've got Limp now moving in. The poison stack starting to be sprayed out by Hanskin. Disrupt is going to go ahead and rock through. Meanwhile, Limp just easily drops down the Legion. That looked like it took almost no effort effort at all, and now Alliance, they're on cleanup crew, they're looking for the survivors. Era's going to be moving forward. They've got the dust on him. It looks like Era just throwing out the bugs. EGM going and trying to crush, but the time-lapse actually puts him back into a scarier position going against the TA now. Looks like there's going to be the force staff up. Jonas gets the flame break, actually forcing the Weaver farther away. Psionic Trap is going to be slowing this Weaver down. He is good and goopy. I know Jonas going to be looking for the lasso. Can he actually catch up here?
He's looking like he's in some trouble right now.
You gotta pop that Lincoln's though. Oh, okay, nice. There's the crash, and the Weaver finally does end up burning. Gem is gonna be on the deck. Batrider, the rightful owner, picks it up, and now Alliance are feeling very firmly in control. Losing Loda though, that was a pretty big loss.
Yeah, it's painful, but you know, it's one of those that just like, yeah, it happened. You know,
it was a good way to start off the fight.
Yeah.
I guess. You knew that there wasn't going to be any duel, there wasn't going to be any jump left from Escape.
It was a good move from Escape just to like find that one isolated hero and take the movement at least in that quick motion and get the kill, but Alliance quick to respond and cleans up most of Escape's heroes.
Overall, in terms of net worth, now about 12,000 in favor of Alliance. Big items are coming out for these cores, and I mean, Escape aren't starving. This is not the biggest deficit we've seen by far. It's definitely winnable for Escape, but they've got to come back for some huge mistakes on Alliance. Yeah. They've got to be rotating as a group. They can't let themselves get picked off. And it's scary because Alliance just have so much more team fight sustain. Escape, they kind of get in, they drop their spells, they drop their damage, and they just got to book it out of there. Whereas Alliance, they're content to chase you down for like a full minute without feeling like they're out of gas.
Yeah, they have so many different ways of vision in the team fight, so it's, you know, Limp doesn't even really have to pop his BKB too often, so it's still 9 seconds. Yapzor gets spotted out by the Batrider and EGM, but he's got Force Staff, he's got Blink, gets Flame Brook back, he's gonna get lassoed. No, he's actually okay.
I think Alliance, they don't want to get too deep. They've been playing pretty well in these finals in terms of not getting too cocky, knowing what they can do, not getting too ambitious, and so far they've been winning games because of that.
Yeah, they've got the side trap on the Roche. It's going to be respawning in 2 seconds here.
EGM just going to get walked on here. Maybe he bit off more than he can chew. The duel comes in. I don't think he gets a chance to respond to this. He's going to be dropping down.
Kind of a peculiar place for him to be, but either way, it's just fine. The rest of his team is still farming. Loda now finishes up that Assault Curse, as we mentioned, so they have a crazy amount of minus armor for the Roche, as well as trying to go for the high ground push after they take the Aegis. But
they're keen on going for the Roche as well. They draw it out on the mini-map. Looks like that's going to be their next point of action.
It's still hard for them to fight. Starter is dead. I believe he has buyback. He does not. He's 140 short. Okay. But yeah, it's still kind of hard for them to fight just because of the vision factor from Alliance. They have the traps that are going to be placed all over the place, just seeing every time Escape makes the movement in, and they're already set up now. EGM's going to be respawning in about 15 seconds, and yeah, Escape doesn't really have any window to do anything now at this point.
They're still trying
to go. Jonas is ready.
Yeah, he's got the Lifestealer infested in him. Can they actually jump in onto all of Escape's heroes here? It looks like Escape are going to get one final opportunity to back off, and they're going to take it.
Yeah, definitely be safe, you know. They might be able to jump in there and get like 1 or 2 heroes, and they might lose somebody, but yeah, I mean, it's not worth taking the risk when your Slaughter is about to respawn and in the position that they're in.
They know Limp is here. They know Limp is walking around. There's pings out from the Dire. They'd sure love to be able to jump this. Now Koipa moving forward, going to get hit by the strikes, and Limp just moving forward, has found the Juggernaut, but Juggernaut's going to go into the Omni-Slash. Meanwhile, the duel comes out. There will be a defense from Hanskin. Hanskin's going to get blown up on the back lines, but they lose the Legion. And now Limp is BKB'd. He's ready to move forward. Cinder, and he's slow. Oh man, he just gets pummeled, and now Limp does not want to stop. They want to move. They want to catch everything they could possibly get. Batrider, he gets off the lasso. They're holding the Jug in place, and he will finally drop.
Oh, and the first hit bash onto Yapzor.
Oh, okay, that seems fair. Era, gonna get out of this alive. Looks like he is able to skitter into this camp and TP out, but that is the smallest victory for Escape. Everyone else gets completely cleaned up. The net worth of this TA is just completely out of control. She's got over 5,000 gold on top of all her items now.
Yeah, great fight from Alliance. I mean, it's much easier for them to execute when they have all these different, this such a massive lead.
Buybacks coming in from Escape. It looks like this might be their final hold. Trixie dropping the arrows, just moving forward, trying to keep the pressure up onto the Dire, but Alliance, they just rotate back without a scratch.
Yeah, I mean, Limp actually ate the entire Omni-Slash in that fight, and it only took him down to like a little bit above half HP, obviously with the Refraction coming into play there too, and his, you know, massive amounts of armor since he is a Templar Assassin with AC Aura and Vlad's Aura around him. It mitigates.
Look at this Roche!
Amount of damage.
God, it's like a neutral creep. It is just, okay. I've seen Ancients go down slower than that at this point in the game.
Yeah, level 3 Amplify, minus 20 armor, Desolator, another minus 7, Meld, another minus 8, and then they even have the ACR on top, so yeah. It's pretty ridiculous how much minus armor they actually have. I'm doing the math right now, my brain's not working.
You do the math, I can't
35, 40, there you go, minus 40 armor.
That is a lot of minus armor, so Escape with their meager armors. I mean, you look at Ogre, he's sitting at 10 armor right now. He's got the little +4, but this Ogre is so easy to blow up. Synderen has 9 deaths. He's doing his best to keep everyone bloodlusted, trying to start off these fights right, but it's just so hard to get the picks.
Yeah, just much easier for Alliance to execute.
Now, Juggernaut, he's doing pretty well. He's going to be 3rd on the net worth chart, definitely not too far off from taking over that 2nd spot. He's been doing what he needs to do. He's got his Butterfly, but there is going to be that MKB already completed on the Dire side to punish him. Do you think that Juggernaut is going to get big enough to actually take on this many ridiculously farmed heroes in Alliance?
I don't know. I don't really think so. If he can isolate maybe like the Bat Rider obviously and the Slark, he can actually do a decent amount of damage to the light steal.
Speaking of Bat Rider.
Another question. Bottom lane. Boots travel limp with the lasso. Koikfa is looking very dead.
He's trying.
He's trying.
He's trying. It's looking grim. Again, this is an elimination series. Winner goes on to the grand finals, so Escape, if there's one thing we learned from watching their 3-game series last night, they are not going to give up without a fight.
Yeah, definitely not. But the Aegis and Cheese, they've got everything they need to be able to go for the high ground here with the AC Aura, the Vlad Zora, the Desolator, obviously, that we saw earlier. And yeah, it's their go time. They're going to send some illusions just to be, you know, just to stick with the meta, you know. Might as well throw some illusions on some towers anyway.
Loda feeling comfortable just crawling up onto the high ground all by himself, and this tower is going down so quickly with the TA illusions. There's going to be Radiant. They're crawling around. There's going to be pings out. Trixie held to get back as he's sitting there with his Weaver. It seems like Escape. They're trying to go for the wraparound approach, but Alliance may have no trouble dealing with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting the racks. The bottom racks has already cleaned up the range racks, and now they have lost their melee and range racks. I mean, Escape can't fight into this Aegis and Cheese. It's actually just impossible.
Escape so focused on trying to set themselves up for perhaps a good counter engage that they forgot that their structures were being decimated.
Yeah, it's really tough, you know. If they go on anybody, Shadow Demon's always going to be there to bail them out, and then the counter initiate comes in, and that's when it all just explodes in their faces.
TA.
Here comes the desperation, last effort smoke from Escape.
I mean, you've got to if you're Escape. You know it's not looking good. Maybe just trying to wrap around. Getting a pick onto the TA could be phenomenal. It's ambitious. Now we're going to have a Blade Mail Trixie going forward. That Blade Mail is going to lose a lot of its potency by now. They go in. They will be able to get the duel off onto... Okay, no. No, Hanskin loses the entire duel. They one-shot the Legion. It's all going to crap here for Escape. The Chi-Chi called out as Escape just cannot take this much damage. Holy crap, Alliance! They just came alive that game. Was that the draft? Was that their rotations? Was that just their fighting spirit here in the Swedish crowd?
I think it's a couple different things. I think it's their draft is very strong. I mean, obviously,
look how happy those guys look.
With the Bat Rider and the TA trap.